Struck out on the brake line. Lock it up. No food truck tonight. This place is like Tijuana. Everyone's got a side hustle.
Claudio Domenicali was quoted as saying that, "Signora, signori, the future is electric, and we are not far from starting production."
See if AutoZone's any more forthcoming with the goodies. Oh, there's the food truck. Buddy.
Oh, there's the food truck. Mr. Tacos. Friggin' mini.
Jesus Christ. This place is fucking third world country. Look at this guy. Oh, I can smell those corn chips. Smells good.
Better be alert. I might just throw a random fry in the middle. Oh, who's faster? That was good.
Friggin' cover this up so people don't find out where I live and try and stick their finger up my butt. It's been sitting in a storage unit in Joshua Tree for about 2 years. I was hesitant to bring it to Los Angeles when I moved out here because, as you can see, there are just cars all over the place here. There's really no off-street parking. You know, and I'm happy having a motorcycle because you can split lanes and it's the only way to get around Los Angeles with all the traffic. So what I'm going to be doing here today is replacing the brake lines with braided brake lines. I've actually done the other side. And I'm also going to be replacing the brake pads and the caliper. I'm going to cut this line so I put a socket over the fitting. There it is. Go, Cornwell. I'm like a dog chasing cars. I wouldn't know what to do if I caught one. Time to go to the hardware store. 5.0.
This thing hasn't been run since Christmas Eve. Let's see if she starts. Oh yeah.
Today it was almost 80 degrees and it's, you know, January, late January. Find me somebody to love. Ugh. When Ducati presented their electric bicycle back in November at the world premiere, I talked about it in my V4 debut video. It kind of heralds back to Ducati's early days when they were, you know, strapping gas motors to bicycles. It seems like just about every major bicycle brand has an electric, you know, bicycle. I know Trek and Specialized have them. There's also the High Bike, which is a really cool electric mountain bike. And I think BMW has one as well, which is probably what spurred on Ducati to build one. And most of these bikes work off like a pedal assist or like a torque multiplier approach, where the electric motors essentially multiply the rider's pedal input by like, I think it's like 200 to 300%. So it's sort of like having 3 riders on a bike that don't weigh anything helping you pedal. They do like, I think they do like 28 miles an hour. Actually in California, most of these bikes are banned from trails because they're classified as, I think it's like class 3 vehicles. So the first thing that popped into my mind was, oh, you know, Ducati's greasing the skids for an electric motorcycle. And sure enough, so Ducati just announced that it's building an electric motorcycle. And all you Desmo petrol heads might want to put your fingers in your ears for the next part. Claudio Domenicali was quoted as saying that, "Signora, signori, the future is electric, and we are not far from starting production." And to me that means like 1 to 2 years before it hits the streets. So again, Ducati is greasing the skids. I think this is in line with the previous announcements Ducati has made with regards to, you know, launching electric motorcycle, which I think was like 2021. Now, Ducati has produced a number of electric bicycles and concept motorcycles in partnership with other companies and institutions, including the Milan Polytechnic School of Design, to develop that, you know, hypermotard electric conversion, the Zero. And I think Claudio's even been caught riding that electric hypermotard that's fitted with the Zero FX powertrain. And I think much of this is a general response to the changing demographic for people that are buying motorcycles, you know, namely millennials and Generation Z.
Emily, what the hell is going on?
But it's also directly in response to Harley-Davidson's electric live wire, which has just begun pre-sales, I think. And the price on that bike is roughly equivalent to a new V4, about around 30 grand. Another Italian company, Energica, they've been producing electric motorcycles for a few years now. And they've got a number of high-performance bikes that, you know, can do like 150 miles an hour. Now, as someone who's built and raced a couple of competition electric cars, you know, I can appreciate the advantage of electric vehicles, you know, namely thermal efficiency. Thermal efficiency is the amount of mechanical work you get out of a system divided by the amount of, you know, thermal energy you put into it. It essentially tells you how much use you made of the thermal energy. So a typical Carnot cycle, you know, used in the modern, say, VTEC type internal combustion engines, they're about 30% efficient. That means about 70% of the energy turns into heat.
Ow, that one's good and done.
So in short, your car engine is a better oven or grill than it is a source of propulsion. As a point of reference, a gas turbine is about 60% efficient. An electric vehicle engine has a thermal efficiency of about 90 to 95%, sometimes even higher. Now it obviously comes down to, you know, what's supplying the electricity to your home wall socket that's charging that car battery or battery pack. Now most of the country's power stations run on coal and natural gas, which is still in that 20 to 30% thermal efficiency. So in a sense, you're not doing much to save the environment by driving an electric car. In fact, in the short run, you actually generate more pollution with an electric car than you do with gas cars. Now as power stations get away from fossil fuels in the future and move towards, you know, wind, solar, and nuclear, obviously that pollution dynamic will change, and you actually will be doing a lot more for the environment in terms of emissions, you know, carbon emissions, etc. And you'll have higher thermal efficiencies. But I think you'd be surprised to learn just how toxic, you know, solar panel and electric car production is. Google it. You know, I think you'll find it really interesting.
See if AutoZone's any more forthcoming with the goodies. Oh, there's a food truck. Hey. Beautiful dog. Is he friendly? Yeah. Oh. Hey, buddy. Beautiful. No go on the AutoZone. I'll do a little research tonight on the old interwebs. But I know what I gotta do. Down this road before many times with the old Stanger. Oh, there's the food truck. Mr. Tacos. Friggin' mini. Jesus Christ. This place is fucking third world country. Look at this guy. Oh, I can smell those corn chips. Smells good. So as someone who loves, you know, both electric and, you know, internal combustion engines, I love the Desmo engine, but you've got to face facts that the demographic is changing, the technology is changing. Mercedes just announced that in the next 3 years, all of their vehicles, so at least I think 10 vehicles will be all electric. So, you know, the landscape is changing, and I think, you know, you got to get on board or you're just going to become a curmudgeon. Yeah, the gas engines are really fun, but, you know, driving in LA traffic and sitting at lights for 4 or 5 minutes, it just really isn't efficient. Most of the time I just shut the engine off because I feel like I'm just wasting fuel. And the smog here in LA is bad enough. But anyway, just a quick video. Sorry I've been absent. I've been working a lot, so I haven't really had much time to post videos. But I have a bunch more videos in the pipeline, so make sure you like and subscribe. That really helps me out. And click that bell so that when I post a video you get a notice. And see you later.